Welcome back yet again to a podcast to Deep Left Field by Castellanos. On another little hiatus there, but we're here and getting more and more optimistic as the updates roll in for a resolution soon enough. I don't imagine we get a deal tonight, but possibly within the week. What do you think, guys?
I think tomorrow or 2 days. It's getting to that point where it seems that things are starting to ramp up and they're starting to close on certain ideas.
Yep. Pat?
I think by noon tomorrow there will be a deal.
Yep. So hopefully they don't cancel opening day, but they probably will. But we are here to talk about first base fantasy rankings. We have our own dynasty league, and we play ESPN standard head-to-head points, which I know is not a super popular system, but it is what we know best. So it is kind of swayed in the way we rank. So we might as well stick to that. So if you play an ESPN standard league, these are the guys we think are the best to target at the first base position. So before I get into my list, I have some honorable mentions. I imagine we'll all go who our number 10 is and talk about them a little bit. I don't know if you guys have any honorable mentions, but you're welcome to speak on them. So I guess we'll kind of rattle off. So both, do you want to let us know some of the honorable mentions, some guys that did not make your list?
One guy I was really, really close to adding to this list was Jared Walsh. Like, I know he's very high power, high OPS, good on extra base hits. But at the same time, compared to the other people I think are going to take a jump, I don't think he is there yet. Maybe in a year he'll be there. And I also had a surprising one. Joey Votto. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was this year. He went on a crazy hot stretch. Was it 9 games in a row? The homer. So yeah, that's not gonna be the case this season.
Yep. Pat?
I also had Jared Walsh as one of my honorable mentions. And then to give another one, I have Rhys Hoskins. I think. Thank you. I feel like the Phillies are going to be better this year, and that'll give Hoskins a lot more opportunity around the middle of the lineup for RBIs, better at bats with runners on base, or just better positions to get more hits.
All right. So you guys kind of took the smart route and did 2 honorable mentions. I got 6.
Oh,
And the play.
Full list. Full list.
15, and then you can just give us the number 16.
That's what I'm saying. The full list of all 30 ranked first basemen are in that range. May be up on Sports Talk Daily tomorrow. The link will be in the description for the website if you so choose to read up on the articles. Yeah. So some of my honorable mentions: Yuli Gurriel. Didn't make my list, but phenomenal hitter. CJ Cron. Had a really good year last year, over 900 OPS. So imagine that'll be close again. 2 Yankees from last year, Rizzo and Voit. Both of those guys could definitely, depending on where they are, do well. Joey Votto, like you guys, was one of my honorable mentions. And Alex Kirilloff, I think, with a full season without a wrist injury, could show that power off and launch himself into the top 10, especially with positional versatility. He can play the outfield. So I'm kind of excited for those guys. So I'll start with my number 10, and then we'll just kind of wrap around. So for me, the number 10 first baseman to target in fantasy is Ty France. I'm a huge Ty France guy. He's been officially listed as the first baseman for the Seattle Mariners. Especially with them getting Adam Frazier too. This is very unlikely he plays second. Super versatile utility guy. Hits the ball, just hits all the time. Hit 291 last year. You look at his Savant page, he doesn't have an amazing like hard hit or barrel rate or any of that stuff, but phenomenal X WOBA, phenomenal X batting average, expected batting average, max exit velocity, and he doesn't strike out. Incredible whiff and NK rates. So he's just a guy I see just continuing to hit, and in a lineup that I think is a sneaky World Series contender in the AL. The lineup, at least. I don't know about how well the pitching holds up, but the lineup for sure. So yeah, Ty France is my number 10. And if he can, he hits 310 on fastballs and 300 on off speeds last year. So the 260 on breaking balls is still pretty good for breaking balls. I just, he's always hit minors, majors, every race man he's hit. So I don't think that changes just because of the, advanced hard hit rate, stuff like that. Boach, who do you got at number 10?
This is controversial, but it's not Ty France. You'll see where I have Ty France, but this is Frank the Tank Schwindel. He had
impressive.
a great rookie season for the Cubs, batted over 300 in a limited time, a lot of extra base hits. I think he'll have a sophomore slump, of course, like every rookie does, but I still think I think he'll hit around 270 with like 25 homers and maybe 30 doubles.
Yeah, look at that sophomore slump. So that's like an MVP, almost an MVP year.
About 270 with 25 homers.
And 30 doubles. Yeah, that's all-star caliber.
Because he's all-star caliber Schwindel, baby.
All right, so last year, is this Frank Schwindel? Maybe I have the wrong Frank Schwindel. I'm trying to find his baseball savant page.
Frank Schwindel, the GOAT, baby. He
So
batted
apparently-
326 with 14 homers.
Okay.
OPS
So-
of 155.
He qualified for 2 tracking stats by Savant last year, which was, he's also 29, or he was 29 last year, so he's 30. And the 2 stats he qualified for was max exit velocity and sprint speed.
So he's slow as hell.
Yeah,
Well, not-
33rd percentile in sprint speed, but he is
But he
85th
hit-
percentile in max
He
exit.
crushes the ball, which is elite.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, I don't even have him top 20, but
Frank Schwindel breakout.
Pat,
I also have Frank now. I have Josh.
Ah,
I have Josh Bell at number 10.
yeah.
Um,
Josh Bell
Wa-
was another one of the guys I thought about putting in my honorable mentions.
Washington's gonna need someone to score the runs this year, and that'll be Juan Soto and Josh Bell.
well,
No,
Carter
they just won't
Keeper-
score. They just won't. It'll be Keeper Ruiz.
That's what I
Keeper
was
Ruiz,
too. But
he'll
of the
drive
runs-
him in.
Of the runs they do eventually score.
Yeah, I mean, I like Josh Bell, but I don't know.
He's
Like,
iffy.
no matter how well he does, it just always feels a little disappointing compared to 2019. Was it in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, his first half in 2019 was
Yeah,
elite.
so, yeah. All right, number 9. I got Rhys Hoskins. He has been top 10 first baseman for the last couple of years statistically in fantasy. And like Pat said, with a better lineup and an increased chance to drive in runs and get more hits, should only further elevate him into the top 5 even. But Rhys Hoskins, super underrated, very, very good hitter. He's been hitting well for the last 3-4 years. So then nothing for me to expect that to change much. So yeah. Boach, number 9.
I had Ty France, number 9. Like you said, I like him a lot. He should be better this season than last season, which is something because he had a great season last year. I think the Mariners are going to add maybe one more bat. Rookie's coming up. He should drive some runs in.
Yeah. I could also see him being on the bases a lot. I mean, he's not very fast, but he'll be out there quite a bit. Pat, number 9.
At number 9, I have Anthony Rizzo. I still have him coming back to be the first baseman for the Yankees. And with that being said, I've had the short porch for all his home games. And I think that he can, well, he's never going to be like the same, like caliber player that was like hitting like 25, 30 home runs every year with the Cubs, like during his peak. Like I definitely could see him as like a 20 home run, 80 RBI guy.
Yeah, I don't have him going back to the Yankees, but yeah, if I did, he might have been a little bit higher, but we'll see.
Understandable.
All right, number 8. Why don't we reverse this order a little bit? Pat, you want to go number 8?
Oh yeah, I got Joey Votto at number 8. As both of the honorable mentions, there's probably going to be some regression, like that insane hot stretch. But also, I think a lot of it too is he's such a smart hitter. Like when he predicted this years ago, that he predicted like at some point in my career I'm going to have to start losing points on my average to hit for more power as my bat speed goes down, and that's exactly what he did this year. So I think it's like he's not going to hit 9 home runs or a home run in 9 straight games, but I think that we can expect to see what he did last year for a lot of this year.
I went Hoskins. Hoskins' main issue for me is injuries. The man can never stay healthy. He's always somehow out. And on top of that, he always seems to just he makes a hard contact, mainly strikes out quite a bit. But he has to fit in somewhere with the DH being implemented. He can alternate from first base to DH. So I'm considering him a first baseman, but he should have a great year this season. With less
All right.
injuries.
Yeah. My number 8 is Jared Walsh. He crushed the ball last year, 30 homers. His max exit velo is 94th percentile, with a 75th percentile barrel rate. He crushes the baseball. Slightly above average in most hitting categories. I don't know. I think that he'll have a regression to the mean, a positive regression in hitting against lefties, which was a big issue for him this year. So I imagine the righty stuff will stay where it is, and he'll get a little bit better. I did just straight up, I know. So, but I think he's going to have another good year. And I think with Mike Trout back, it should be even more RBIs in that lineup for him.
On another note, 10th inning of negotiations are going on right now. And it's 11:24, so 36 minutes to get it done.
Yeah. All right, number 7. Pat, who you got at number 7?
Max Muncy.
Okay.
I have him a little lower just because like there is the fact that he's supposed the injury thing. Like I know it's like fully healthy, but I feel like he is more.
He is an injury prone player.
Yeah, like even if we're assuming fully healthy with the UCL thing, there's a good chance it probably shuts him down for part of the season, or he does get hurt again this year.
Yeah.
But when he is healthy, he's a beast. So
it's true. Boach, we got number 7.
Jose Abreu. He's an RBI machine. I assume with fully healthy Robert and Anderson in that lineup. Eloy Jimenez being finally back. But I feel like Eloy might be after Abreu in the lineup.
Maybe.
Because he hits for more power. But I think Abreu he's consistent. He drives and runs, does what he has to do to get hits. And he's always going to be a top 8 to 6, that range, first baseman.
2020 MVP. I also have Jose Abreu at number 7. Again, same reasons as you, Boach. Good lineup, strong hitter, consistent, relatively healthy the last couple of years. So I imagine, another good season from him. I'll flip it around again.
Hold on. Let me start with number 6 as well.
Okay.
Because my number 6 is Jose Abreu. So
I'll go after Pat.
For all of the above reasons, are you guys?
Bush, is your number 6 also Jose Abreu?
I had Jose Abreu twice. No, that's not.
Who do you have at 6, Butch?
Oh, I have Max Muncy at 6.
I also have Max Muncy at 6.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength, low key.
We'll see what the rest of the list is like. I don't think we're all the same. But yeah, Max Muncy, great hitter. Might miss some of the season with the UCL tear, but him and Abreu are relatively similar to me in terms of like production. Like you're going to get production from them as long as they play. But I think Muncie gives you a little bit more of an upside. Although Abreu gives you a little bit more of a floor. So it's kind of just dependent on what you're looking at. All right, number 5, I have Paul Goldschmidt. Really strong hitter. Just, yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer to me. Continues this for a couple more years, definitely be a Hall of Famer. Spent a lot of his career kind of, under the radar and
Wasting away in Arizona.
yeah. But he's in St. Louis, good lineup. You got, Tommy Edman, Tyler O'Neill, Harrison Bader, Nolan Arenado. They got a lot of guys that can hit. And, he's just going to be a consistent first baseman for them. Have another good year. Hit a lot of doubles, have good average. Maybe lift the ball for some more homers. So yeah, I just, imagine him kind of slotting in at this number 5. I think great player. I think he's a little bit ahead of Muncie and Abreu in terms of hitting right now, but I think that he's a step below the other 4. That's kind of where I have him.
I got him in the exact same place.
Yeah, Pat, ahead of the other 2 guys, but below the top 4.
Yeah, I have Goldschmidt at 5 as well. Yeah.
I do not have Goldschmidt at 5. I have Pete Alonso at 5. I just think that Alonso strikes out a little bit too much, and Goldschmidt can give a little bit more on the average. Alonso has more extra base hits and homers, of course, but Goldschmidt, I think, in the long run, is a better hitter than Alonso.
That's where I very much disagree with you. So do you have Goldschmidt at 4?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just lump that in. You have Goldschmidt at 4 and Alonso at 5. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the extra 20 home runs possibly over the 30 points of batting average. I imagine Pete Alonso hits 45 to 50 home runs this year. At around 260. Is that crazy to say?
No,
Right, so 260, 45, 46 home runs. I'll take that as a number 4. This is also points league, right? So it's like we're not talking categories, right? The batting average, home run is 7 points minimum, or 6 points minimum. Sorry. Give me all the extra base hits.
The baseball bits. Pete Alonso is not a clutch hitter. Foolish Baseball put a video talking about how the Mets can't hit in situational baseball, and that's why they lose a lot of games.
I don't give a shit how the Mets do.
I'm talking about Alonso is main participant in that.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't matter if he gets the home run in the 9th inning or the 1st inning. It's still 6 points.
But he misses out on a ton of other RBIs.
Every player misses out. No, he doesn't. Not really. Pete Alonso had 120 RBIs in 2019.
And that's more than half of them were like homer. He had 50.
Again, it doesn't matter how he gets them. He just gets them. That's points. That's the beauty of a points league, is he could strike out 4 times a game, but if he hits a grand slam the 5th time of every game, he's probably the number 1 first baseman. There's just, I don't know. Give me Pete Alonso over Paul Goldschmidt in a points league. If we're talking like a categories league where we have to take into account like maybe Paul Goldschmidt might steal you 1 more bag than Pete Alonso, or he might have a better average and do a lot of stuff better than him. But give me Pete Alonso. I think Pete Alonso easily gets over 100 RBIs this year. Pat?
I agree. No, I agree with the Alonso take. Same thing. Fantasy wise, it doesn't matter when he gets his hits. He's still giving you the fantasy points.
Yeah.
And I definitely see him having over 100 RBIs this year, probably like 40 home runs.
Yeah. Easily. All right. Boches Goldschmidt at 4. The top 3, I think we all have the same 3 players. If you don't, we're going to have a large talk about who missed out on your top 10.
Well, no. Pete Alonso is not my 4. Matt Olson is.
That's an awful
You don't want my top 3? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Pete Alonso and Matt Olson are very similar players, and
Matt Olson is there's nothing statistically that would indicate that he goes 270. It would indicate that he goes up, if anything. And he's also going to probably going to play in the easier stadium when they trade him. Oakland is very hard to hit in. All right, whatever. You have Matt Olson at 4 and Pete Alonso at 3 then?
Yep.
At 3, I have Freddie Freeman. I think it'll be interesting to see where he goes and what happens with that. I mean, if Freddie Freeman's a Yankee, then I probably have him pushing 1 with the short porch, but Freddie Freeman, really solid hitter. See where he goes in free agency. Hits the ball really hard all the time, really well. Yeah, great player. Bocher, do you have a 3?
I have Freddie Freeman at number 3. Like you said, he had a really terrible first half this season, turned it around, saved his fantasy season. I think he switches teams, maybe a new location gives him another slow
Dodgers?
start. Maybe. I don't know. But I think a change of ballpark might mess him up a little bit or something like that. So he'll be good, but not as great as he was 2 years ago.
All right. Number 3, you have Olson. Number 3, you have Alonso, Pat.
Yep.
All right. Number 2, you have Freddie Freeman.
No, I have
Guessing.
Vlad too.
All right. Why do you have Vlad at 2? Well, what does Freddie Freeman do better than Vlad?
Well, it's not a matter of what Freddie Freeman does better than Vlad. It's a matter of I don't think what Vlad did last season, he does over 162 this year again. I also expect I don't know his exact stats. But like, didn't he bat over 300
3, yeah.
or 320?
Yeah.
I don't think he's a 320 hitter. And I think he's I think he's going to just be consistent like Freddie Freeman around like the 300 batting average. I think they'll put up very similar stats, and I think Freeman will just edge him out with his new contract from the Atlanta Braves.
In terms of advanced stats, Vladimir Guerrero is in the 98th percentile or better in average exit velocity, max exit velocity, hard hit percentage, ex WOBA, ex batting average, expected slugging, and then he's 90 percentile in barrel rate, 87th percentile in walk rate, 82nd percentile in K rate, and 69th percentile in chase rate. There is zero means for me for much regression from him. I think he's
a great eye too.
Far and away the number 1.
He is one of the best eyes in baseball.
So for me, at number 2, I have Matt Olson. And Matt Olson just put up 270 with about a 15% K rate and 39 home runs in a park with massive foul territories and pretty far walls. I think a trade to almost any team puts him pretty handily into the top 2. And his expected stats, he's 90th percentile in expected WOBA, 70th percentile in expected batting average, which indicates he would still stay around this same batting average, if not improve. 87th percentile in hard hit rate, 84th percentile in expected slugging, really good walk rate, really good with the Ks and the chase rate this year. The only thing that Matt Olson is not very above average to great in is sprint speed, according to his Savant page. I see no reason why he should regress, and if anything, he should continue to get better. And I think he could make a run at number 1 if Flag gets hurt or has a cold stretch or something of that nature. Boch?
I had him at 2. I think his power and his ability to slug is elite, but thinking at it, I think his strikeout rate might come down a little bit back down because it dropped 10% this year.
Well, he did rework his swing a bit.
That is true, but 10% is a large jump.
It is.
So maybe that comes back up a little bit, but even still, I think he's still better than everybody else, just because he hits more.
Now, if you want to make the argument that you might get better position, better draft position value for a Pete Alonso, then fine. I'm happy to hear that argument with, Pico and maybe 2 rounds after Matt Olson, that could be a better selection there. But in terms of being players, I think Matt Olson clears him easily. And that's not even taking into account the fact that Matt Olson's probably the best defender on this list.
Oh, Goldschmidt.
I think it's very close between those two, but Matt Olson is an elite defender as well.
I also like Freddie Freeman's defense too.
Yeah.
He's very underrated.
all I'm saying. All right, so those are the top tens. Pat, I'm guessing you have Freddie Freeman at 1 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the top tens. Yeah. Do with that information what you will.
Wait, it's been quiet for the last 10 minutes. I'm scared.
Okay, Butch. Yeah, so full list will be out on, for myself, will be out on Sports Talk Daily. The link to that website will be in the comment section. Pat and Boach's list may be out if they would like to write them. They're welcome to. If not, then you can listen to the one who knows what he's talking about. Anyway, all right. Thank you for listening, and we're out. See you later.